Welcome back to Ask Me Anything Data Centers, a podcast called AMADC. I'm your host, Abhi Sastri, and today we're going to be discussing a new liquid cooling challenge by ASME and IEEE geared towards students. This is a great way for younger people to get inside the data center industry. So without further ado, let's get started. So a lot of people don't know, I got my start inside the data center industry through liquid cooling. I had a company called Fluix Pro where we developed new liquid cooling technologies, and cold plate designs have changed throughout the industry and throughout the last couple of decades. So it's really exciting when new technologies such as manufacturing, simulation and modeling, and AI can help design more efficient cold plates to cool down these very high heat density chips. I'd like to showcase a new challenge. They're looking for additively manufactured cold plate designs, and students should definitely apply for this, whether you're a mechanical engineer, aerospace, electrical, or even a student not even in those disciplines. The data center industry is growing tremendously. It's projected to be a $10 trillion industry in the next couple of decades. So if you're trying to figure out a new way of getting inside the industry where your resume, your background will be skyrocketed in front of these top tier data center manufacturing companies, cooling companies, this is a great way to get their attention. They provide everything. So you'll have everything you need to run this competition. But essentially, this is the water block that they're attaching on top of this cold plate. Really unique design here. So one inlet, it goes through this chamber here, and then the fluid goes through the microfins of the cold plate, and then it has dual exit chambers that you can see here, possibly to make sure that the pressure drop is not too high. And then you have a single outlet as well. This is really cool. As you can see, there's going to be gaskets, so the fluid is going to be forced through the cold plate microfins, and that's really cool. Split flow configuration, 2mm thick silicone gasket. So the coolant fluid is PEG. Coolant flow rate, they give you the flow rate, they give you the inlet temperature and the expected ambient temperature. So they are assuming that you're going to use CFD, computational fluid dynamics, to design and optimize your cold plate design. This is also really cool. They give you the die that's going to be used to test your cold plate after they manufacture it. And what's really cool is they give you sections of the cold plate. I'm assuming they have different heat loads. Let's check here. So section H is going to have a 400 heat load uniformly distributed, and BG1 and BG2 are 200 watts. The liquid cooling industry has really evolved even in the last couple of years, and you were really constrained by how you can manufacture your cold plate design. But one thing that really happened in the last couple of years, the feasibility of using additive manufacturing or 3D printing of metals really allowed you to create some unique designs. So they are assuming that you will be using AM or additive manufacturing to design your cold plate. So that really allows you to use, physics or AI-enabled CFD designs, AI-enabled CAD software to really create a new technology. So Fabricate Labs, a lot of people don't know about Fabricate Labs, but they were recently on a Linus Tech Tips video. You guys should go check it out. They are a metal 3D printing company, and they're doing quite well in the data center industry. So they give you all of the design specifications. So students, if you're out there, this is a guideline, and you guys should definitely apply for this competition. So very important. So the competition, the participants will retain ownership of IP or intellectual property, but just know that the organizers and the manufacturer of Fabricate Labs will be granted a perpetual non-exclusive right for your design. So just make note of that. This is a great way of getting inside the data center industry. It's so hard to get inside our industry, and I'm hoping a podcast like this would allow more people to learn about the industry, learn of opportunities like this to get access to the industry. And then if you are able to show that you have skill sets that's in current demand, such as winning this competition, you will do quite well in this industry. You will be getting a license to Ansys, doing this design, you'll be constrained by the mesh that you create. But I believe the license they're giving you, your mesh size won't be constrained. So I think that's really, really cool. So if you are trying to get inside the industry, you should definitely apply for a competition like this. I wish you the best of luck. But before we end, let's quickly go over. I have a treat for you guys. So this is an article that I found by the organizers highlighting the 2025, so earlier this year's 4 teams that won the competition. So let's quickly go over some of the exciting stuff that happened last year. Here are some of the finalists. We have Aero Product with this really unique cold plate design. So again, this was last year's. As you can see here, they have some really fine microfins. This was definitely manufactured with additive manufacturing because it's going to be very difficult to create this type of geometry using skiving, which is the technology that we used to use when developing cold plates. But what's interesting is, I mean, these got to be like half a millimeter or 0.2, a quarter of a millimeter microfins. And then you got this unique edge over here of this cold plate where it looks like fluid comes in, and you can see the fluid gets channeled, and you can see the microfins are in a specific direction. You can see that, right? So they change direction here, and it looks like the fluid comes out and hits this edge. And they do it in a way, because this is quite interesting. Your pressure will be quite high through these microfins, right? But then as you get out here, you should be able to level out your pressure drop. So that's a very unique design. Oh, look, wow, we have a geometry that we can play with. Look how, I'm messing up. Look how fine these fins are. Oh my gosh. That is quite cool. And then look over here, you got that channel. So really, really unique design. All right, the next one called Chili Platter. Let's check this out. Oh, wow, this is cool. So this is like pretty much a foam. It's like a metal foam, that's quite unique. Look at this geometry. Look at all the different, you have such a high surface area for this metal, this obviously copper, to exchange heat from the metal foam here to the fluid. I'm just wondering how high the pressure drop will be, but if they won, they seem to have figured it out. And it seems that having these little tiny holes and cavities in the metal foam and not having it too densely packed allowed them to have a winning design. So that's quite interesting. This is what additive manufacturing allows you to do: create unique technologies like this. It's unique cold plates like this. Wow. So this one's called Chuk Mei. I think that's how you pronounce it. And this is quite a unique design. Look at this. They have many different types of fin layouts. You got fins here that are, obviously straight edges, and then you got pins here, and then you even have guiding channels for the fluid to enter and be guided. And it looks like the fluid enters through here, gets blocked by this edge, and then you have an overflow. So you can imagine the fluid creating some sort of eddy, and you want laminar flow entering in, but you want turbulent flow throughout these fins here. And I'm guessing the fluid goes through here. It'd be really cool to model this in CFD, but you can see they tested it, and you can see the fluid. Oh, that's really cool. The fluid seems to have created eddies and vortices here, and then really creating a higher coefficient of heat transfer. And then, as you can see, it probably went from turbulent, hitting a boundary layer here, and then becoming laminar as it exited. I'm guessing the outlets was here. This is a really unique design. So that's quite unique. Look at that. That's cool. So, man, it's so great to see these designs. Wow, this one's even more unique. Holy, okay, so MSAM, MDAM. I think that's how you pronounce it. So look at that. I mean, wow. It's quite an exciting time to be in liquid cooling or liquid cooling design and manufacturing. I mean, a cold plate like this, we would have never dreamed of creating cold plates like this, even just 5 or 6 or 7 years ago when we were developing cooling technologies. But look at this. Oh my gosh, I didn't even see this. Look at this fin design. It is definitely, it seems like they must be using some AI or physics engine in CFD somehow, I think, if they're developing this. But look at that. The fluid enters, it has little tiny holes. I mean, you can't manufacture this using traditional manufacturing techniques. And it looks like it follows the envelope of how that fluid would be. I just wonder what type of chip this would be cooling, right? Maybe an AMD EPIC chip. But look at the channels that the fluid enters. The fluid enters through this channel. It definitely creates some eddies here. And then modeling this out would be really, really interesting. I mean, look at that. That is blowing me away, guys. Blowing me away. So you can definitely take inspiration from the winning designs of 2024 and 2025. If you're a student trying to get inside the data center industry, definitely consider applying for this challenge. Talk with advisors, talk with other students, talk with previous winners. All of this is public information. Definitely try to engage with experts. You can just cold DM experts on LinkedIn. You can cold DM us, find me on LinkedIn, and other experts in the industry. Industry experts want to help students. So make sure to talk to advisors, cold DM experts, set up interviews and meetings with them and say, hey, I'm applying for this challenge. I want, general best practices without obviously asking for IP. So definitely consider doing that. Another thing that you can do is there's a lot of amazing tools out there. So you can feed this into an AI chatbot and you can talk about some of the best practices. There's definitely some physics and AI engines that you can configure with Ansys if this license allows you. And also reach out to university sponsors and different researchers. National labs have unique technologies and white papers talking about liquid cooling design. So this is a really, really cool opportunity. And I hope students apply for this opportunity. And if you do, reach out and it'd be really, really cool to see if you guys win. And if not, it's a great piece on your resume that you apply for a challenge like this. Anyway, this has been episode 2 of Ask Me Anything Data Centers. Every single week, we come out with the new episodes where we interview data center experts, talk about opportunities like this, and really dive down deep into the industry and some of the trends that we've been seeing. If you like this type of content, consider subscribing and go to the comments section below and put other types of opportunities that students can use to get inside the industry. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys next week. Peace.